Now we are going to take up equilibrium involving dissolution of solids or gases in liquids. First we are taking solids in liquids. Now you must have seen, if we take a particular amount of water and dissolve sugar in it, keep on dissolving sugar in it little at a time, you will find a stage will come in which no more sugar is possible to dissolve at a particular temperature. So we say that saturated solution is formed. Saturated solution is the solution in which no more amount of sugar can be dissolved or solute can be dissolved in a particular amount of solvent at a particular temperature. Here, what is happening? The sugar is getting dissolved to form sugar solution, and from sugar solution, solid sugar is coming back, so that there is a equilibrium between the solid sugar solution and sugar solid. That is, the rate of dissolution of sugar becomes equal to rate of crystallization of sugar, and this process is called equilibrium. And this process involves solid dissolved in liquids, and this leads to the formation of saturated solution. Next, we are taking gases in liquid. You must be knowing that cold drink contains carbon dioxide dissolved in water, and you must be knowing that cold drinks are filled at high pressure, and you like to take chilled cold drink. Why chilled cold drink? Because chilled cold drink has more dissolved carbon dioxide. If you have hot cold drink, you won't like to take because it has got less amount of carbon dioxide dissolved in it. So we are going to take up gases in liquid. Now CO2 gas is dissolved in water, so there is an equilibrium between CO2 gas and carbon dioxide dissolved in water. This equilibrium will be gases in liquid. This equilibrium is governed by Henry's law, which you will also be studying in class 12th. It states the mass of the gas dissolved in the given mass of solvent at any temperature is directly proportional to the pressure of the gas above the solvent. In simple words, greater the pressure in cold drink bottles, more CO2 will be dissolved. That is why that the carbon dioxide gas is dissolved in cold drink bottles at high pressure. And once you open the bottle, this high pressure is removed, and whatever gas was dissolved in water will be removed, and your cold drink will become tasteless after some time if you keep it for some time. Next, we are going to take up some features of physical equilibrium. Now, when liquid and vapors are in equilibrium, for example, the water liquid is in equilibrium with water gas or water vapors, partial pressure of water becomes constant at a given temperature. Why partial pressure of water becomes constant? Because the amount of liquid changing to gas and amount of gas changing into liquid, that both the rates are constant. So concentration of water vapor is constant. Therefore, partial pressure of water is constant. In the same way, when solid is in equilibrium with liquid, usually at melting point, this equilibrium is generally established at melting point. So the melting point is fixed at constant pressure. Now, if we go to hill station, then the melting point or freezing point will change because atmospheric pressure changes. So it means that freezing point or melting point depends upon external pressure. Solute, when we dissolved in solvent, so we get solute solution. That is, sugar solid is in equilibrium with sugar solution. Now in saturated solution, the concentration of solute in the solution is constant at given temperature. Why concentration of solute is constant at a given temperature? Because equilibrium is established. Equilibrium means that the rate of dissolution of sugar and rate of crystallization of sugar becomes equal. Now gas is dissolved in water, so there is an equilibrium between gas and its solution. So the ratio of gas in aqueous solution divided by gas in gaseous state is constant at a given temperature. In case of carbon dioxide, aqueous carbon dioxide means the CO2 dissolved in water to the molar concentration of CO2 in gaseous form is constant at particular temperature. So these are the characteristics of physical equilibrium. Now we are going to take up equilibrium in chemical process, and this is dynamic equilibrium. Dynamic equilibrium, I have already explained that equilibrium reaction does not stop. the rate of forward reaction and backward reaction being equal, it appears to stop. Now, with the help of graph, we are explaining that the concentration of reactant goes on decreasing as the time passes, because reactants are going to change into products. It means the concentration of product goes on increasing with the passage of time. And you must be remembering, a stage will come when rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of backward reaction, and this stage is called equilibrium. In chemical processes, it will be called as chemical equilibrium, and in case of physical processes, it is called physical equilibrium. Chemical reactions reach a state of dynamic equilibrium in which rates of forward and reverse reactions are equal and there is no net change in composition. Now, when the rates of forward and reverse reaction are equal, the color, density, composition of the equilibrium mixture remains the same. There is no net change observed at the time of equilibrium. Now we are going to take up law of chemical equilibrium and equilibrium constant. Now, at a given temperature, the product of concentration of reaction products raised to the power their stoichiometric coefficients. Now, what are these stoichiometric coefficients? These are the coefficients in the front of reactant and products in the balanced chemical equation. Every equation must be balanced, and after you have written balanced equation, so first you find out what are the products and what are the coefficient of the products. If coefficient of the product is 2, so it will be raised to the power 2, and if coefficient of product is 1, it will be raised to the power 1. So these are called stoichiometric coefficients in the balanced chemical equation. It's very important, the equation must be balanced, divided by the product of concentration of the reactants and raised to the power their individual stoichiometric coefficients, that is the coefficient in front of reactants in the balanced chemical equation, and this has constant value, and this constant value, this constant is called equilibrium constant. Equilibrium constant for the reverse reaction is reciprocal of or inverse of equilibrium constant for the forward reaction. Let's take up graph which shows the rate versus time. This side we are plotting reaction rate and this side we are plotting time. So this represents reverse reaction because rate of reverse reaction slowly increases, whereas rate of forward reaction slowly decreases. Now, why rate of forward reaction decreases? Because concentration of reactants decreases and concentration of products increases, therefore rate of reverse reaction increases with time. And this is the stage which is representing equilibrium, when rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of backward reaction.